So good morning, everyone. This is Miss Cleo for the Garden of Eatin, my own beautiful Garden of Eden. Oh my gosh, it is the last Saturday in April 2023, April 29th, right? April 29th, 2023. And I just want to walk you through the beauty of what I'm looking at. Now my lavender was doing really good, but it's been raining a lot. I'm gonna have to take them and put them kind of back under the carport, some of them, because they're not happy with me, and they were already very nicely rooted for over a year. And so I'm just gonna replace them in the pot with some more Chinese basil. We had some days of rain. It was this big, y'all. And look how this has grown. I mean, there's some little babies down there. They were about that small, the whole lot of them. And then I need some new pots now because I like to take some out and keep them separate. Blackberry bush, she is growing, thriving. We already know what's down there, thyme and sage. I had to string up the peas. I thought I had them high enough, but evidently I'm gonna have to add the neck on. I think my tea tree here is dead. I believe that's catnip, or yeah, that's or bee balm. Anyway, we already know about my mint, right? So I took too much of the mint evidently last time and it didn't like it. So they got upset and they started getting airy and angry like this, open. But this one didn't. And so anyway, we are moving on. 2 new tomato plants that I bought. You know about these. The lemon boy. It is growing, and the black cherry. I love these little babies. I grew them a couple years ago, or maybe even last year, but I think it was 2 years ago. The celery kicked the can, except for the one here. I think I had too much food, fertilizer in it. So one of these guys kicked the can, so it's gone, and we use, reuse. And then that one's going to seed, and I guess that one is too. I'm going to keep it for the seeds and regrow, so I'm just going to let it go instead of popping that off and throwing it away. Replanted some cabbage that I grew from seeds yesterday. There's 3 of them were repotted. I repotted that one. This is the 4th one over there. That one's been there for about 2 weeks or so. It was planted with these guys, but, I take them out the pots. And so, would you look at this cabbage? Look at this cabbage. It's so gorgeous. Gorgeous cabbage. These guys survived the winter. And so these babies down here are going to grow up and have to go through the winter. But you see, they're forming into itself now. It's wrapping, or what do you call it? Rolling into itself. The Brussels sprouts don't like the heat, evidently. So I'm hoping I can keep these guys and hope they survive through the summer of the heat and onto the winter. But every day you come outside and the Brussels sprouts have fainted. That's what I call it, fainting. And this is that, the greens that I picked out of the ground, that had thrown evidently, or I had dropped, some seeds or whatever, and I picked it out of the ground. It's not very big, to be able to pull from without her dying. And so I'm trying to keep her, but I don't know how long we'll make it with her. And look, they got asparagus. I think that's asparagus. When I bought it and planted, they said it was asparagus, okay? But I got this, and then finally got an asparagus spear, but I don't think this is actually asparagus, so I don't know. Anyway, so let's go on to, oh, I just ripped my, oh man, almost ripped my pants off. Pumpkins. I've got to find a place to put the pumpkins in the ground. The pumpkins like to faint every time it gets hot as well. You already know the chives. Those are squash. Summer squash and some other kind of squash. We have a dead zone right there. This is the onion leek that I got from the store. She's doing good. She's doing really good. Really good. But yeah, these guys are the 2 pumpkins. The giant pumpkins. Every time I come out here in the afternoon, you know, 4:30 or so in the afternoon, they have fainted. So everybody's wet this morning because I watered them last evening. This is a plant I picked on the side of the road. I believe that's a evening primrose. So the, what do you call it? Wheat, it died back, and now strangely it's coming through again. It's kind of crazy. Garlic. And you know how small the strawberry plants were. So I have little awkward babies. I probably should just pop off. But look how much they are growing. We've had rain twice this week, really heavy rain. So this is a grape bush. She hasn't come through the ground yet, but this one did. Lovely, huh? Lovely. And look at this girl. We already know she's Concord. I can't think of what this one is right now. Concord right here. Remember when we started over the early winter, she was a little baby like this one. And yep, I'm leaving her here for now. And this is a pokeweed I don't need. Okay, pick up the pokeweed and pop it out. And I put things here so the roots dry. I'm not gonna throw it on the ground so she'll grow somewhere else. Not gonna happen. Vanessa, remember when she was up here to the wire and then died back? That's the Vanessa red seedless. All right, so we have something happy growing finally. This is the Creek Muscadine right here. All right, Creek Muscadine. Dude, we finally got some leaves on the girl. I didn't cut that girl all the way back from up at the top here because I didn't think she was gonna make it at all. But every time I cut her back, she was still green. And then she was bleeding, which is what they call it when you cut them in the winter. You cut them during the winter, and once they start waking up and thawing out, there's water coming and dripping out of them. And that's called bleeding, which is why the Bible calls blood, the juice of the grapes, blood. Also the symbol of Christ, right? Which is, he is the vine and we are the branches. And he shed his blood for us, right? So you're thinking about the grapes, and you cut those vines. He said anyone that is not in him is cut down. And when you cut down from the grapevine, the vine actually bleeds. So think about that. Jesus bled on the cross, bled and died on the cross for you, and shed his blood, right? And he was resurrected in 3 days and ascended into heaven and seated at the right side of the Father. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. This is one of the rose bushes. So now I put a stick in there to make them come up taller. I mean, she's just done excellent. And because she looks like this, I know she rooted very well in there. And here's the other one. And I still got her tied up right now, but I'm gonna lean so she'll come over to this stick. But I don't have the stick in here good either, guys. I just wanted to show you that. I actually put on a jacket this morning, and I don't need it, so I'm actually already hot. It's not hot out here. It is such a lovely day. I'm taking my jacket off. I just want to show you my greenery. Did you see that? We mowed the lawn like 3 or 4 days ago. You can already see it peeping through. It's going to need another mow, and it'll get mowed probably Monday or Tuesday. Today being Saturday, right? Anyway, I just want you to see. So I'm walking you through the vineyard. I'm going to walk you through everything real quick. So this is Lane Muscadine. She was up here, but I cut her way down. I didn't think she was gonna grow, so you can see how I cut her way down there. I was gonna dig her up, and then all of a sudden I seen a leaf. So now we're just watching her come back up. You already know that there, as I walk you through to see this, you already know that there's dewberries everywhere, okay? I'm not seeing any dark ones, which means the squirrels have probably already got the dark purple ones, because there was some. I don't see any, but I haven't picked anything. All right, there's my girl, y'all. This is Catalba. Look at her, oh my gosh. So what I do is, every time they start growing, I will put this here to hold them, right? So this is where she was a couple days ago, probably about 3 or 4 days ago. You see she's down here. So I'm gonna put one right here. I'm gonna put a black one here. And then in about a week, I'm gonna come back and take another video and show you how far she's gotten. Same thing on the other side, y'all. She is right here. The red, look at her, she's way down here. So the tendril is holding her down, but I'm gonna tack her down. And so I think I'm gonna order me a gun, a tape gun that they use to, on the grapevines. I need one. I do need one. So I've got some fruit here, you can see. She had fruit when I bought her last year, but she had a whole bunch of vines. And so there's like 4 or 5 vines, and I cut them off and left 2 all winter. And then this girl, I said, I don't need that because I need to bring it to the wire. So I cut her off until she gets up to the top wire, and she's getting there. I'm excited because she was down here under this second wire. She was down here before the winter. Well, she stayed down there last year, really, after I trimmed her up. So she's doing wonderful. And this is Alachua. And that's Alachua. See it there? Yeah, Alachua, black muscadine. Now, wild is so much more vibrant and just strong. Those are the wild ones. And they do fruit, but you see that? I mean, look at that. Look at the wild ones I have wired across, you know, onto the trellis. It is amazing, y'all. So let's go. Vineyard here. Okay, this is Fry, and Fry is moving nicely. Okay, so for the winter, you could tell the old from last year, she came to here, not very far, or he, and turn this, came to, is there supposed, he came right here, so maybe made 2 feet, right? It's already made 2 feet again to me, or almost 2 feet. And so you can tell the 1-year-old wood is right here. So everything green is new, okay? Isn't that amazing? That is absolutely amazing. So we'll have to be tucked or held down. This side has finally just started moving because it was right here. Let me move a leaf. Right here, brown. Okay, I cut it back to the little green one there. That's a cane popping up. And then this one, this cane right here, I'm holding it down. All right. Right there. And so it's got, I don't know, however many inches right there. That one's doing good. But she's nice and thick. She's very nice and thick. This one, the right side is thicker. I'm sorry, I have this camera upside down, y'all. I apologize. The right side is a lot thicker than the left, but they'll grow. But she's doing fabulous. And finally, my #1 performer last year is finally awake and moving forward. You can see where she was asleep all this time. And she got to here. I cut her back, and then this is all she's grown so far. But finally, she is coming out. She has awakened, but see, she still has little babies compared to everybody else with a lot more leaves. She's very slow, very slow, but very vigorous in her growing. Once it starts getting really warm outside, she's very, very vigorous. You can see where she made it to right here last year. She made it further, but anything that's cut got cut back. So, yeah. So she's only going to get to here. She's only got about another foot, 10, 12 inches right there. And then she has to get snipped anyway so she doesn't grow any longer. Okay. That is Hunt. That's Hunt. It's either Hunt, I'm sorry, this is Triumph. This is Triumph right here. This girl is Triumph. This girl is Hunt. But before I show you Hunt, let me show you Mulberry. Bought that one yesterday. Yeah, and they are, you know, sickly. But they just sit up there on the thing and water them. I don't think they give them any food or nourishment. So I have a Mulberry, and I'm not putting her in the ground. I have ulterior motives. All right, this is Hunt. This is Hunt. And she's finally on the move. And so I have to take one of these because she's bluntly cut here. And I have to, and it'll be this one. And I gotta tie her down right there. Very carefully, but then she becomes my fruiting cane. Okay, she becomes my fruiting cane. All right. And there she is coming this side. You can see where she made it last year because there's tendrils here. But I cut her back. I cut her way back because it didn't make it through the freeze. And I cut her way back to here. Brown. And then you can see it was beautiful and perfect. She came out right there and I laid her down. She's lovely. She's lovely. That is Hunt. So now I remember, because I have my book and I haven't been looking at my book. That is Triumph right there. And then Hunt. Yes, baby. Here goes another baby that has grown very nicely. And there's aphids and little bugs, y'all. So this is Nesbit. Nesbit. Nesbit's gonna make it down its wire this year. All the way 10 feet. I declare and decree. All of them are gonna make it this year. They're nice and strong and beautiful. All right, look. This tag fell off, and if I'm correct, this is the other creek, because I had this one already a year before I put that creek in there that's barely moving. So this is the other creek, and she's good going that way. And she's just started now, because she didn't do nothing last year on this side, see? But she's just right back up here by the post. So she only has 5 feet to go here, but she gets to go 10 to this, to the left, but she only has 5 to go to the right. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna mark where I think is halfway, because this one is Noble, and Noble is about to make it. And Noble was only planted last year, and Noble did all this work. Can you imagine that? They go right there. That's gonna be about 5 feet. So she only gets 5 feet to the right and 10 feet to her left, or my left. Okay, look at this one. Again, Noble was planted last year and did all of this and has set fruit. Would you look? It got blooms. Would you look at that? I'm stoked out of my head. You see that, Noble? Y'all, I'm so excited. Look at that. I'm excited. And no, I'm not taking it down or dropping its fruit off. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let God do his work, okay? Noble baby. I'm gonna put Noble there because this tag fell off. It's doing fabulous. It needs to get, it got down this wire, the low wire, okay? I'm doing a double, so it's moving finally. Finally. Cause see, this is all greenery. So this, you know, it wasn't here in the winter. This one side was, it's brown. And so you need 2 sides, right? So here it comes. So all this is growing from this year. So we know she's doing wonderful, right? Look at her. Looks like all the fruit is over there. I don't see, yes I do. There it is. right there. I have squirrels, and so I am gonna have to start getting me, there it is. There it is. It's low for the squirrels, you see it? And so I will be putting netting on my fruit. All right, so this is Rosalind, because we don't know what type she is. Named by the person who gave her to me. Okay. She's growing. She's lovely. Rosalind. Rosalind was a twig. I'm sure I've posted it before. These little bitty twigs that she planted and put in a pot, and then she gave me. There was 3 or 4 of them in there. I gave one away, as I've said before. One died, and then I kept the other one. And then, of course, the one I gave away, they didn't take care of it, so it died. That's what this is. Passion fruit. I've never had passion fruit. I'm going to the store today to buy me one. Yes, indeed. The other rose. This rose, I thought she was going to die. Shoot, she's coming up like a mug. So you know what I'm going to do? I want the rose bushes to come up like trees, not bushes. And so because this one here in the middle is very, very strong, when they get up, I'm going to end up cutting this one off. This one will be cut off so that there's one main stalk for that bush to come up in. This one is actually a perfect bush of what I'm looking for. But again, I want it to grow up like a tree and then bush out. All right, so let's go. This one gets on my nerves. This was one of the very first I ever planted. Coward. It came up to the wire, died back down, went back down last year because I planted it in 2021. It literally was one of the first ones. Like I bought 5 and planted 5, and there's only, out of those 5 that I planted, the very first set, I think it's the only survivor. Well, Triumph Creek, really, I don't know. I'll check, but it was Triumph Creek, and I had Jumbo. Jumbo died, and then I had Coward. So there's 3 out of 5 that survived. But I want to show you something, and I'm on my way. The reason why I have my keys, I'm on my way out because it is aphid season. You see the aphids. Let me see if I can get close to you. Those little black things are aphids. And I know the ants like the aphids, but I ain't got time for this because they eat all the brand new. You see how they're not down here on these leaves because they eat the brand new. And so then they don't grow because they eat all the brand new leaves. I can't have that, okay? And so we're out today. But that is Coward, and she has grown back up. And just to show you where, of course, we're going brown to green. Remember that lesson. Brown. See right down there? Dropped on the floor. Ground, I'm sorry. All right, right here. See right here in the stump, and then you see this is all green. So she's doing wonderful. She should make the wire again and be strong. Okay, then I have one girl I bought back here. I bought her last year. She was wiry all over the place, had fruit on her, everything. I'm gonna clean her up. She's got 2 branches. I've already cut off a lot of this one. She's already got 2, she's already separated. Let me see if I can get you. And she's getting intertwined in herself, child. What you call the tendrils. So this girl, I mean, she's doing the dang thing, okay? She's just doing the dang thing all over the place. And so she's got one that I put here that's wired right to here. And I'm just too close, okay? And so then she split way down at the bottom. She was already split when I bought her. And and she had like 4 or 5 I've cut off. And so I've just left the 2 because if this one doesn't make it, I need her, right? And so I'm gonna continue to hold her, but I'm gonna lead her over to the post here, okay? So she'll go over, but she's growing. She's growing. And I'm just letting her go willy-nilly down here right now this year. She can go willy-nilly, I don't care. But they had grapes when I bought them last year. And so I fully expect her to throw some fruit. You know, maybe one bunch, who knows, but I fully expect it. So I'll clean her up so I know what in the world is going on, but not right now. I'm gonna let her grow. But this is Summit, y'all. The thing for Summit is drying out, but the videos help me to keep Summit. So you see how this is green? Summit is green. Her tendrils are green. I want to show you my wild muscadines. They're burgundy. You see, they're red. See that? But I've already seen these muscadines, and so when I first moved here 3 years ago now, and the fruit is like a red and purple, and so that's why the tendrils are a red color. Okay, so that is my family of vines, y'all. That's the vineyard. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow, I split the banana plant root in 3 and planted 3 of those roots. They didn't take. 3 of them didn't take, but 1 of them did. And yes, it's at the edge of the vineyard. I buy Triumph. There she sits. All right, y'all. So I'll end that video there with a picture for you to see my new growing gladiolas. There's 3 of them. Let's see. Where the heck am I looking at? Right there. 2, 3 gladiolas. Bye for now.